Good evening, everyone. I'm Larry Lasser, and this is CBS Radio News. Tonight, war crime trials in Tokyo come to a close as many are found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging. In China, the civil war continues as communist forces continue to gain territory. Finally, Truman wins re-election over Thomas Dewey and will serve a second term as President of the United States. But first, CBS Radio News is brought to you by Gillette's new Super Speed Razor. Gillette. Look sharp. Feel sharp.
Pee Wee Reese has a way with Dodger rookies or Sandlot youngsters. Pee Wee, you do a lot of work with boys.
Not work, Al. I like baseball and kids. I enjoy helping teenagers start right.
Oh, that's around shaving age, and you give them pointers on personal appearance, too?
Yes, a boy has more self-respect when he's clean-shaved. I tell him to use a Gillette razor, Al.
You said it, the Gillette Super Speed Razor. And today there are 3. Light for sensitive skin and most younger men. Regular for average skin and beard. Heavy for men who like the heft and feel of a heavier razor. Each is different, precisely engineered. One has the right blade edge exposure, edge angle, and weight to shave you in a breeze. Comfortable, good-looking shaves you may never have had before. And convenient, you change blades and rinse clean so. Choose your Gillette Super Speed Razor. $1.29 with Gillette Blue Blade dispenser and handy travel case.
Welcome back to CBS Radio News. Our coverage tonight begins with the war crime trial in Japan. Japanese General Hideki, along with several aides, has been found guilty of participating in war crimes. Their punishment, handed down by the International Tribunal in charge of these war crime trials, is execution by hanging. Several Japanese soldiers sentenced to death have announced their intention to appeal to the UN in hopes of avoiding the death penalty. Shifting our focus to China, the Chinese Civil War rages on as communist forces continue to gain ground in the bloody conflict. It's looking increasingly likely that the Red forces will take all of China. Civilians have been trying in vain to flee the violence, but travel outside of China is extremely expensive. The fate of those left in the path of war is uncertain. Finally, the U.S. presidential election ended with a surprise victory for President Harry S. Truman. Truman, whose first term began following the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, won a second term in a highly contentious race against Thomas E. Dewey. That's going to do it for our coverage tonight. Join us tomorrow for our next edition of CBS Radio News, The United Nations in Action. For CBS Radio News, I'm Larry Lasser.